or more. I'm certain at this point you would like a tour.
Yes.
Who better to give you the tour than the smartest of the Fomor?
Sense motive?
Sure. I'm sure he's not gonna try and. No, this is a fancy room full of traps that kill you. Oh, I got a 21. Awesome.
53. Donovan is keeping you from getting deaded.
He's worried about getting deaded himself.
But Donovan's going to do like a lead the way kind of motion to.
Yep.
Go on.
The only place worth seeing, aside from the places that we've scratched out of the earth, is the shattered temple where the Titan had sat. Apparently some victory long ago against a deity was fought in this cavern. A victory that this Titan had, well, claimed to be the instrument of whatever deity it was long ago, and none of the deity's flesh remains, the Titan having eaten it all. The blood, and bones, and marrow, and flesh of deities is powerful, but so too is their corpses. Apparently they're out there in the plains. There's a place where deities go when their corpses, when they die, when they are forgotten, when they are slain. Oh yes, gods can die, Altagar, just like titans can.
Alright.
Don't mind those women over there. We'll have the bridal ceremony soon.
He like turns to like the rest of the group like fuck. Oh.
You are our king after all.
Yeah.
And you're part for more now. Yes? The power of the Titan now flows through you. Some of it you captured.
You can see I captured it.
Oh, yes. How much, I wonder? How much? Will you be able to give the blessings out? We are getting ahead of ourselves.
Show me the corpse. I'm curious.
There's no corpse left. There was once. It's just a great shattered hall that used to be this god's temple. Nothing remains. Except, well, I suppose nothing is something after all.
Show me.
Okay, you guys are walking. He's kind of doing this huddle,
Yeah.
Quasimodo walk as he's going. You can see every once in a while, like the weird brain that's coming out of the side of his head pulses.
I don't
undulates.
expect you to stand. I only need that you near.
Yeah, there's a vast cavern down here where these misshapen and really mutant giants, some of them probably should never see the light of day, or are hiding down here because they don't want others to see them.
Okay.
Truly unhumanoid humanoids.
They have women folk?
Yes. In fact, there are lots of women, children, folk. They seem to come in huge, and so the giants themselves, some of them are huge. They're much bigger than Altagar. And then others are only large, and then some of them are smaller, which you, I guess, are the young.
Yeah, okay.
Do you need to pick a wife here too?
Come. This seat is all that remains of an old god's bones. Marrow has been sucked and licked away. I would have found any more of it if there was some. But still, The bones of the gods is where you will sit.
Altagar will sit in the...
Knowledge me.
For what? It's just it looks like an unstable cavern. Like there are cracks along the walls. There may have been ancient pillars here that have been marred or pushed over. There is a bit of a dais, but the stone is so old that it's been worn by the giants walking across it, so it's almost slick and smooth in all the paths where they walk. There is on top of the dais, there is this impressive throne that looks like it's made out of the bones of half a dozen very large animals. Like mastodons, and you see horse and cow. Him claiming it to be god's bones. Maybe there is a god's bone in there, but it looks like it's like
that was the part that was the...
Yeah. It looks like it's been reconstructed many times, and there's just lots of bones that seem to be offered all around, like hundreds of large bones, perhaps from kills.
Marty, Lemmy's detecting magic.
Okay. There's a tiny bit of magic coming from the stones itself. Lemmy's guessing that this might be a desecrated area.
Go.
Azildan's going to check for a piece of the artifact.
Okay, so you're going to go up to the throne. Oh, I see the artifact. Okay.
Yeah.
You're still on Nalbrin. The last time you checked on Nalbrin, you got the same thing.
We're not 100% certain it covers the whole plane yet.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true.
Well, it's good for us to double check.
Yep. You don't sense any of the pieces.
Okay.
Finkle Thundertoe is watching you while your forehead's glowing blue.
Sense motive.
He might be this tribe's repository of knowledge.
52. How smart is he?
He was
the smartest.
He was trying to figure out what Azildan was doing. But then he doesn't want to die, so he returns his attention back to Altagar.
Finkle,
He puts up his...
where did you learn? How did you learn?
Answer, my friend.
I have undergone as all shamans, advisors, and witch doctors have undergone. The Titan is a great being that only understands things from an old age. It understood power, it understood might, its wrath was great.
And he kind of points off to the side where you thought they were just dark stains going up the walls, but you're pretty sure that he's painted this hall in blood, perhaps of Fomori, many times.
Swell. Awesome.
I have accepted the gifts given to me by the Titan. There are few that can beat me at a game of stones.
Challenge accepted.
Donovan does not accept a challenge to a game of stones because Donovan thinks he would lose. This man was able to rub two sticks together and was able to get that. I wonder what power Azzy has. He's a fucking genius.
Come, take your spot. Seize the power of the Titans.
Altagar will go sit upon the throne.
Okay. The throne's too big for you, but you can sit on the center of it if you want.
Yeah. He'll
Okay.
just jump up.
Yep. Are you just standing on it? Yeah, it creaks a little bit, but
How
yeah.
big is the throne meant for?
It's for a colossal.
Oh, Uger isn't here. Donovan can only get you to...
Behold, Altagar.
You said your last name, right?
Yeah.
Haskrun? Is that how you say it?
Haskram. Yeah.
Altagar Haskram. Hero, slayer of Titans.
He glances at you.
He is of mixed blood. But as we know, mixing things makes us strong.
There's a general agreement from... Half of them are already kind of bowing. You're not too sure how they bow, and they're so bent over.
Behold, he wears upon his finger the twin crowns.
Altagar lifts his hand or his fist.
And by his victory over the Titan, he achieved what the Titan could not. He is both king of Fomor and of Firda.
There's some dim understanding, maybe from some. Others growl at the name Firda.
And so, as our previous master passes into the void, now Altagar is our king.
And with a weird, kind of lumpy, sweeping motion, he falls to the ground in prostration, and other giants begin to as well. You notice that the three giants that you killed, their bodies are dragged into the room and placed on these large alcoves off to the side. You can notice one giant licking his lips like in anticipation.
Okay, yeah.
Ooh.
Just stay close to me, Dankinder.
Yeah,
And there's just like they all come and bow. Hundreds of them in this cavern, probably more outside.
I am king of Fomor and Firda. From this day forward, you are brothers, and there will be peace.
Donovan, you can see Thinkle processing that.
Okay. Does he look like he's coming to the right conclusion?
No, he's calculating.
Okay, I'm just keeping an eye on him.
Okay.
A great war is coming.
Okay, some of them in the room get really excited at that.
A war where we will determine where we stand in the hierarchy of giants.
There's a wrinkle that goes across Thinkle's head. Like, oh, this is interesting.
Those behind me, who support me, will find themselves at the top of this hierarchy. Kings among the giants.
To conceal how he doesn't necessarily agree with that particular chunk of statement.
I think you're just making shit up now.
No, that's about Altagar.
All right.
Thinks.
All right,
no,
sure.
He beats the shit out of everybody at this point.
So you meet Papa Cloud Giant with the same build as you. Just
Oh shit! Oh my god!
my reach is 50 feet.
Thinkle gives you a look like, are you done talking, or?
The Fomor are to prepare for war. When I send word, you are to march to where I tell you.
And you fight who I tell you.
In the meantime, Thinkle will rule in my absence.
He looks surprised at this.
Do not disappoint me.
Okay, if he couldn't possibly get any lower along the ground, his head now thunk, hits the ground at this. Like he's like almost practically lying on the ground. If that crook in his back allowed him to, he'd probably be lying totally flat.
I will leave you to celebrate your new king.
And you notice that some of the giants are getting up, and they're taking out big cleavers, and now they're hacking up the bodies of the big giants that you slew.
Yeah, I'm gonna fix that once we get this whole giant thing worked out. Let's get out of here.
Okay, as you're going, one of the giants ripped out what looks like a giant liver and is coming blundering towards Altagar. There's this 3-fingered claw, like shoving a giant liver in your face.
For the king.
A true king subsists on the subservience of his people.
Ooh.
Just
I
like
don't
Max.
need to eat.
I keep.
The giant turns around, and now there's kind of like a schoolyard fight over who gets the liver that the king gave away, and they're ripping it apart, and they're trying to shove it in their hands or their mouths as quickly as it goes.
Altagar's like standing over Lemmy so he doesn't get stepped on in the scuffle.
Okay.
I'm on Dankinder. dude. I'm hiding in his ear.
How the fuck did Thinkle get all the way over here? He dimension doored. He kind of comes into the shadows towards you.
We will prepare for war. Do we know who we're fighting?
It could be everyone.
I hear that you were fighting orcs a while back.
We have broken their armies. There are scattered bands about. Do with them as you please.
Thormor are much stronger than orc. We could press them into our service as fodder.
Altagar's thinking, he means slaves.
Not very lawful of you. It is lawful to
Yes,
me.
it is. It is lawful.
No, sorry, that came out. That sounded sarcastic for it, but it wasn't supposed to be.
Yeah, but I'm also good, so.
They're evil, and it's that or get them killed.
Yeah.
Look at me trying to push slavery on you. There we go.
I think it's a good idea.
We will need soldiers.
Yes, soldiers. What of the druids? They attack us as we flee back to Fomor. But they do not attack Fiada, and there is a druid amongst you.
Leave the druids be. The druids will be at peace with you now. What of the Fae?
They,
The quick ones.
they are most bothersome. They fled when the Titan died. The Fae here are not, they do not listen to the Titan. The Titan knows Morgana.
They follow Morgana.
Yes.
And where can we find this Morgana?
Morgana is not someone that has a place that is known. Her eyes and ears are everywhere. You should expect that she simply knows everything.
How many
Except-
simulacra does she have?
Then she must be.
Yes, too many. She learned that trick from somebody else.
Where are the other foci of power on this world?
Do not go
Foci
to the
of
Isle of
arcane
Wizarding.
power.
That is where she resides some of the time. That is where she works her magics.
The Isle of Wizarding.
Yes? Where else would you steal the secrets of Merlin?
New targets, fellas.
It's a target-rich environment.
Yeah.
And we've got so much money!
I can weave spells for you, my king. I shall make sure that they are ready to fight your enemies, and we shall prove to Anam that we do not have to be whole, symmetrical, to be the top.
He is waiting for us to prove ourselves.
Strong you are, yes. With your
Go enjoy
strength.
your celebration.
I do not eat as they do. Old ways die hard. I have already dined.
Does Mr. Thinkle have hair?
I don't know, like little bristles here and there, but
Could you pull out a few hairs for us, Mr. Thinkle?
Why?
he knows why.
So we can keep track.
He looks up at Altagar, like, is this necessary?
Altagar just looks at him more sternly because he's not doing it.
He looks around and tries to find some hair, and then pulls out a tuft of them and hands them over to Donovan.
Can I have some of your hair, pretty elf?
Popped into that one.
Just in case I need to find my king.
Donovan takes a strand of hair, he pulls out a dagger, he cuts a piece of the strand of hair off.
Okay, he spits in his hand and just holds out his hand.
Put the hair in the spit.
Okay, he closes his hand and just sort of waits.
I will return when... And I expect you ready to march when I return.
Yes. When you return, you will stay longer and we will speak more of how we achieve greatness. How we climb the rungs of the ordning, yes?
Yes.
I have ideas. Ting, ting, ting.
Good.
They need strong implementers.
Have you mastered beyond the fourth circle?
Aren't you a nosy elf?
I might be a nosy elf, but I come from a place where spells go well beyond fifth on a regular basis.
Of course they do.
So if there's magics that you require or desire, it might be possible for them to be retrieved.
I'm sure they could. Any magics that a Titan came across usually found my way if he did not break them first.
That disjunction's a horrible bit of business, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
He strangely doesn't need anything from you.
He probably has access. Well, because the Titan's been murdering for a long time, and he's the only dude who knows arcane magic. So
I suppose if you came across any spell books, I could take a peek. Chances are there might be something that I haven't learned yet.
He's
I'll
a
keep
wizard.
that in mind.
that is because he ain't no sorcerer.
No.
He's a sorcerer. His spells are easy to project. Just like oh. So yeah.
They don't call me Thinkle for nothing.
Good.
Is there a title for your new position that you're granting Altagar?
Position. They knew who I am. They knew that I could think their innards on their outside if they don't listen to me. Title. Oh.
He doesn't need a title.
Is there a title?
Would you like a title?
I'll think of something.
Very well.
Do you want to see your larder? Or your harem? Or your treasury? I don't want you to come back thinking we denied something to you. I am not trying to hide what is rightfully yours. Altagar, my king.
I sense you're telling the truth. However, I have no need of these things at this time.
Well, I will make sure they stay safe. It will be difficult to keep your brides.
Is the harem all Formian?
Yes. All the women. I assume the wife gifts of the previous king are still in effect. That will keep your army from revolting.
Wife gifts.
Yes? How else do you reward those who are strong, those that have gifts, those with good service?
What is a wife gift?
You give them a wife.
Oh.
Breeding rights upon level of status or class. In this case, military performance.
Add that to the list.
List of things to change. Yes, it is an old way. Old ways die hard around here.
Many things will die hard before this war is over.
Yes. Yes.
He actually looks at Altagar hopeful. Like he hasn't seen hope in a while.
Guess who gets the breeding rights for, like, the next 2 generations? This guy. This guy gets to add IQ to all the other big guys.
We're looking for triple lobes across the board here. Come on.
We don't want to be defeated by DC 15 int checks in the future. Oh no, I can't get out. There's a DC 15 int check. I can't do it.
Is there anything else, my king?
No. Just get my army ready.
Do you want your chair rebuilt in your honor?
The chair is fine as it is.
We'll find
He shoots you a look like, yeah, the chair's fucking fine as it is. Come here and start redecorating elf. Right. He didn't say anything, but he did shoot Donovan a look.
I guess we just have to find magics to make you fit then.
I fit just fine.
Okay,
Why shoot a gargantuan?
he's backing away, doing that sort of like still facing you and bowing as he's backing away. Eventually, he gets out of 60-foot dark vision and turns.
Turns and goes.
Gives you the finger and walks away. I saw
So I can
that.
still see him and start shooting him.
This place is gross, Azildan. These people live like filthy animals.
Can we please leave? This is awful. I stepped
Donovan
in
casts a protection from evil.
something.
Now that that guy's out of sight, he doesn't want to be surprised by some sort of charm or enchantment.
Got it.
Let's just leave. This is awful.
On the other side of the multiverse, in Dvergholm, are heroes that are doing other things. These heroes being Uka, Lokrik, and Midwick. Now, Lokrik spends time at the Forge after abdicating. Well, not quite abdicating, but declaring his sister regent of Dvergholm, thus freeing him up for adventure and perhaps for greater things.
Yeah!
As Lokrik knows, there are dwarves out there that are in dire shape, in dire need, and that the greater dwarven kingdom awaits.
Yes, and a bigger forge. That apparently they're making Search Hammer. We gotta or Search Sword. We gotta stop that. He doesn't know that part though.
Nope. He spends time grueling at the forge, putting magic in his axe, and then once a circlet is gotten, making some mighty bows for Azildan. I think he's also upgrading his armor and shield, but, details. Uker wants to pray to the hammer that forged Mjolnir to make it more mighty. That hammer, of course, is Jotungraner that he found upon this world, and Midwick himself is also working tirelessly beside Lokrik in the forges at Dvergholm. The group of you also are kind of the ones left behind to do a lot of the selling and buying.
Mm-hmm.
I know Lemmy will be warping in and out and helping, but
sorry. One of the days in there, Lemmy's casting more control weather.
Okay.
For Dvergholm and Boston Saga.
Got it. Yeah, Lemmy is zipping around. I'm considering at this point in time, for at least the downtime, that Boston Saga, Dvergholm, Runeshod, Arthur Sate are kind of like the safe areas where you guys are.
Yeah. And the Druid Circle in
at least for this part of the downtime. No, the Druid Circle isn't necessarily safe. Uker.
Druids can cast their own control weather.
Uker, you wanted to do something with your hammer?
Oh yeah. I performed the 8-hour ritual for me to power up the hammer by praying to the Thor, the hammer. He's not quite certain how it works. He just knows he can do it. And he's going to bump it from a +3 impacting warhammer to a +5 dwarven thrower.
Okay.
Equivalent.
And this is basically
+5
pouring money
returning,
into
impacting.
it, and you're praying over it? Okay, so where are you doing this ceremony?
I'm going to do this ceremony in the Temple of Thor in the Vosen Saga.
Okay. This becomes a big deal, and there are worshippers all around, including your followers. I'm going to re-update, like between this week and next, re-update your lists of followers, because your lists of followers are probably acting like military units.
Yeah.
Cool.
And many of Uker's followers are based in Vosen Saga, simply because he became a Thorin here.
Festival of Strength was here.
And then the Festival of Strength was here. So this is a place where it's almost a celebration anytime Uker returns.
And he kept bringing dragons up, just, hey, dragon!
Yep. So Uker, you put Jotun Granier facing downwards on the altar of Thor. A priest, younger priests in the back rooms are actually banging on gongs and make it sound like thunder and lightning, kind of like thunder, kind of like doing the old Hollywood trick with very thinly, with very thin sheets of metal. There are torches and singing, and there are a couple of weapons that have the shock quality that are being used to great effect. As people are ritualistically getting tapped by a hammer with shock on it as sort of as a show of the sign of strength and receiving Thor's blessing. Eventually it comes down to the time where Uker gives this grand offering of thousands of gold pieces. How much?
61,000 gold pieces worth of
You were
treasure.
putting one of your entire Dragon Horde shares, which is multiple from Dragon Hordes, into the hammer. Okay, so Uker gives the offering to Thor when there's a clap of thunder that probably didn't come from those simple sheets of metal, and a dancing bit of lightning along the roof of this chapel. The money disappears. And Uker, you notice that the hammer is glowing. As Thor, Jotengranner, or perhaps even the dwarves that crafted it listen. Are you going to grab the hammer?
I'm going to grab that hammer.
Okay. For a brief moment, Uker, you're in a different place when you grab the hammer. Do you speak Dwarven?
I think I do. Pretty certain I do. Scrolling. Yes, it's the last language I learned.
Brocker, I wonder if these giants are gonna figure out whether we're giants or not. Well, we're not actually giants, brother. This hammer, we should have made it simpler, yes, but it's got a great legend about it. It will be eclipsed by the hammer that we'll create with this hammer. It's a tool, remember? Yes, but remember what Odin said.
Am I just seeing this, or can I interact with this?
You don't know. You see these.
What did Odin say?
No, you seem to be seeing something that has already occurred.
Damn it! What did Odin say?
We're gonna have to make it hard. We're gonna have to make it strong. If it's gonna forge that hammer, yeah, I already think I know what the name of it's going to be. Interesting. This one's obviously Jotengranner. Yes, the giants are gonna be so mad. Well, when they figure out that we're not giants, and using Anam's forge to craft it. Yes, but remember what Odin said. We have to make this hammer so that one day it could become an artifact. Not just any artifact. A great one.
Details.
Oh, I know, brother. Yep, no, we'll do that one. Oh, they may never find it. Somebody will. If Loki can find out where Thor's wife's hair went, they'll be able to find this.
Thor's wife doesn't have hair. More ranks in religion.
And then they kind of huddle in close and they're whispering. You're like, "What? I need to be able to see." And then like,
What do you do?
you're back
Come
in the
on,
temple,
guys.
holding up
Block at me.
the hammer, and you know these two little dwarves, Etri and Brocker, did something to Jotengranner long ago in its crafting that can make it even more powerful than what this tier of power currently is. Like, what market value is the hammer right now?
The market value of the hammer is
The +5 hammer?
It's a no, it's a plus. It's a +9 hammer
Okay.
with with some extra powers on top. Which give me a second. I have this number here. It's a 170,000 gold piece hammer.
Got it. Uker knows things about magic. The market value of normal magic weapons can only be +10. What these two were talking about, give me a knowledge arcana.
Damn it.
No, just
Big
shit I
hard
don't
Uker.
know.
Big hard Uker, prove to us that you're not just a big Gronk. Oh,
Mythic point.
big Gronk.
21.
They were hinting at maybe breaking the +10 barrier.
Cool.
Like, you know that your bite and and Altagar's punch kind of are like beyond what a +5 weapon can do.
Right.
Yeah. So there's something in there, and just like you're unlocking it through offerings to your god, these dwarves, if they still exist, may know the secrets of Jotun
Sending.
Sending, exactly.
Catch you in the mirror.
Okay.
Nice, dude.
Names written down. Find way to unlock hammer.
Do you remember which gods Midwick gave the guns to? Oh, I mean, Altagar gave to
If you
Midwick's
go to
guns
the map, I can point at the statues.
Okay.
'Cause I remember where the statues
I'm gonna take a
They were
second-
opposite.
I'm going to take a quick washroom break, and then I will change the maps, because Midwick hasn't been visited by anything yet.
No.
I think it's time.
Uker is going to throw the hammer and smash something and see how much damage it does just because that was just quickly.
And then, like
Tempo
Mjolnir, it flies back into your hand.
Yes! Like a badass.
What are you
I'll be
still
right
doing
back.
up?
You be right back, I'll calculate my
Talk
damage.
amongst yourselves.
Midwick's gonna get visited, huh? Oh, great.
Yeah.
It's me. Oh,
68 plus
why, Reverend? Why?
75 plus 3d8 plus 3d6.
You have to go.
Whashaw! 120 damage! Hammer smashes thing and flies back. it's my ranged attack. Yes. Is that Sino or Toffee?
It's Toffee. I don't know why the hell he's awake. Hold on.
He's a little late.
Yeah, you can say that.
He jailbreaked. He done
Yeah,
jailbroke himself.
he woke up. He woke up. Come here, Habibi. Come here. Go on. Yeah, dig the door, okay? Come here. Yeah. I'm gonna take him to bed, okay? Give me a sec.
Almond had a rugrat escape. He has to go
yeah, I saw
around.
it. I saw it run.
Yep. So
Cool.
120 damage.
I gotta switch to the map.
No.
Alright. Alright. It's Midwick time. See? Big M, Midwick. Bam.
One of the things the players have been doing, you notice that some of them have been typing away. I know they've been, like, purchasing the items that they want with their big shares of cash. And we'll do some of that stuff offline just because it's not really great streaming material. Like, I want to upgrade my vest of +4 to +5 is not really stream worthy.
Okay.
But that
Ping,
stuff's
ping,
going on.
ping.
They have a lot of cash, and one of the things about Pathfinder is, and it started with 3rd ed. If your gear does not ramp along with your character, then you can then you may run the risk of not acting like a character of your appropriate level.
Yes.
Okay, so the empty alcoves.
So, I'm pretty certain it was this empty one and the bejeweled longsword guy. I thought it was these two. Is what I thought it was.
They were opposite each other in alignment. I remember that.
Was it? Well, it wasn't those two. It wasn't the empty ones.
Was it the god with the monocle and tome in the hand? Or no, it wasn't. It was
No.
bejeweled longsword, well-dressed dwarf.
Pretty certain it was this guy.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I don't think it was female
It was
goddess.
it was a
No,
female. It was a
It
female.
it was an asshole. One good guy and one asshole.
I thought it was a female. That it was.
Okay. I'm curious at what the other god is. I know it was. Deep Dwera was one of them. I just don't remember what the other one was. The dwarven traveling one. That's actually a big help. You probably watched this more recently than we did. Thanks, randomly.
Danke.
So that would be Vergadane?
Dankeschön.
Danke schön.
Sploosh, sploosh.
And I also, I the reason why I can't remember is I remember at the time debating between two gods. I remember having that internal debate. I don't remember where I landed. Okay. Midweek, while you were crafting your items, you had to procure some components from the temple in Virgo.
Okay.
And you got a funny feeling from the temple as you're approaching. You kind of went through one set of doors here and a second set of doors, and then you're like, oh, there's a presence in the temple. This place you disappeared in last time.
My guns disappeared.
Yeah. Dwarven god of travel. The well-dressed dwarf with a bejeweled longsword, is that what we're saying?
That's what I thought it was.
Okay. That's Vergadane, who's the merchant king, the short father, the laughing dwarf. This doesn't feel right.
It might be wrong. Like I'm trying to remember.
I don't think it was that one. I think it was.
It was Marthammer Duin, is the watcher over wanderers, the watchful eye. He is the dwarven traveling god. This is the one. Guides, explorers, expatriates, travelers, and lightning. Yeah. This is now clicking into place because one of your guns is called lightning, isn't it?
Yep.
It's called thunder and lightning. Okay, so Marthammer Duin has a heavy mace.
So where was he on the map?
Fur-trimmed male god with a heavy mace.
Down there.
Yep. Thanks, randomly. That helped.
Oh, beside. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so Midwick, you walk into the temple. And for a brief moment, there was a dwarf in fur-trimmed cloak standing on the dais, pointing at the empty alcove.
Okay. Do I see? Like, is it like an actual dwarf?
Yeah, there was a you blinked. There's a dwarf standing there, and he, with a concerned look, is pointing over at the alcove.
Okay, I'll take a look at the alcove.
This it's pointing towards the alcove that has the studded with jet. The empty alcove with walls studded with jet.
Okay.
and you can see something moving at the back of the alcove. Like a little twinkle coming from a very big piece of jet. Jet is like a black gemstone.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll take a closer look.
Okay, you walk over to the alcove. There's a little image inside of one of the jet stones.
Yeah, what's the image?
You can see gray-skinned dwarves with guns marching in a military parade underneath the ground.
What kind of guns?
They are
Like revolvers or rifles?
they are modern rifles. Like your modern to you.
Like same quality as my pistol, my revolvers?
Yes.
Oh fuck!
They're in uniforms. They're not even wearing armor anymore. And they're marching like these big goose-steppy kind of boot steps. They're gray-skinned dwarves. You notice that there are some commander-looking like dwarves watching this as they're marching, and then there's some really creepy things in the margins, in the shadows. These tall, almost elven, but their fingers are way too long. Too many knuckles on their fingers. And all you can see is that they've got hoods and what look like tentacles growing out of their faces.
Okay. Knowledge, WTF, mate. That was engineering, perhaps? Dungeoneering?
Yeah, go ahead.
Nature?
Dungeoneering. What are you asking? What's the question?
The fuck were those?
The thing standing in the margins? In the sides? Watching?
I don't think I've ever seen those.
Okay.
31. Not 20.
They're creatures of nightmare. They're called mind flayers.
Mind flares. What the fuck are they doing here?
They
Knowledge. Looking at the
they are creatures that can control other minds and that like to eat brains.
mental note: kill those things first.
It's a curious look from the dwarf that's still on the dais that pointed towards you. He's got two gleaming pistols at his belt. Like gold-plated pistols. Same quality as yours. Like your revolvers.
I'll walk back to him.
Okay. There's something wrong with his face. Aura of migraine. You can't quite see his face no matter which angle you're looking at it. But you could tell he's looking at you.
Nice guns.
You catch the glimpse of a smile. Like a flash of lightning as a smile.
Ones I created, given to evil people, and they've taken many lives. Now that you got this power, be on the right path. I don't want my name linked with all the blood.
These better be the right weapons, Midwick.
Are you fighting them?
What I can do on my own. My family... Let's just say they did not agree. There's a reason why your Imperium only lets technology go so far. I'd show you the world that I mean, well, where it's gone too far. But to bring you there means you can never come back.
I can't. Maybe later. But for now, gotta stop an apocalypse. Me and the other friends. Or survive it anyways. Can't leave these people. Or my own.
I might need your help.
Wait, let's see if I even have knowledge religion. Nope.
What do you stand for?
You don't like the tyranny, do you?
No.
My sister got sick a long time ago. Her younger brother... He said sister kind of like one of, like, the dwarven
Myth.
family. It might not actually be his sister.
Like, really, yeah.
Yeah.
Like a church sister, not
Yep.
Yeah.
sister.
Dragged her younger brother away from the family long ago when she got sick. But it wasn't a sickness. You see those things there?
I mean, the tall, skinny ones, or the short ones with my gear.
They are the epitome of tyranny. And while they inflict their will upon others, they too have their will impressed upon by a giant brain.
Where is this?
And that giant brain is part of, well, a god.
Oh, shit.
My sister
Yeah.
got sick, or at least my brethren thought it was sick. Turns out that the tendrils from that god might have reached into her brain.
Mind flares.
Yes. Now they have your guns.
You can thank Altagar for that.
When I brought these guns to Morden and the others, I said, here's the key to our victory. There's something about these guns, these weapons, how fabulous they are. I think I unnerved some of the more implacable. I think I scared some of them.
These things, these weapons, they bring destruction.
But if our enemy has a
These
sword, should not we have axes at least? It's the same
These
word
weapons-
in Dwarven, sword and axe.
These weapons will turn the ones good with the axe and the sword away from you. Keep that in mind. Just because they fear you and they can't compete. It's always happened to me.
It's too late now. The king of fools of the dwarves, I suppose, is on his own.
I don't mind if you got him. I mind that they got him. You're honorable. I can see it.
I suppose we're both outcasts in a way, aren't we?
It's the only life I ever knew. Born into it.
I'll keep an eye out when I can spare.
Hey,
Thanks,
give you
I
a
guess.
hint.
Although,
You know,
they
yeah.
seem to have a lot of them, and I've only got a few.
Well,
Do they have revolver guns? Like more than one shot?
Yeah, some of the officers have revolvers on their belts.
right. Keys to get the drop on him first. Limit their
Gotta be
range.
lightning quick, he says, and with a blink, he's actually standing in a different spot. I get that. Don't worry. I already learned how to use them. At first by watching you, but I got this.
I'm assuming you're a lot faster than I am.
Like he pulls the trigger 11 times.
Yeah.
Okay?
He smiles.
Nice.
Reloads him again. He doesn't shoot.
Yep.
He dry fires. Reloads him. Puts it back.
Hello here. Hello. Midweek, is it?